We build on what matters. We build on relationships. We're Home Matters, for people who want more.
This episode was brought to you in part by Ben Heritage, financial, investment, retirement, money management, and planning.
Hey guys, I've got with us Ben Heritage again. He's our financial advisor. At least that's what we're calling him. Don't y'all like how I said our financial advisor?
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. It's tax time. What do we need to do?
Be prepared. It is the worst time of the year for a lot of people, tax time. In a lot of situations, people are writing checks to the government this time of the year, or they're prepared to, or they think they're going to. But really, this time of year, it's about getting all of your documents together, knowing where everything is. And it's really a good time to review everything, because you have to put your hands on everything, or at least put your eyes on everything. And hopefully, I always recommend working with a tax professional, someone who can actually do the returns, prepare the returns, go through your 1099s, go through all of your documents that you're getting, mortgage statements, things like that, and help you with that process. It's very complicated for a lot of people. A lot of people have a very easy tax return to complete, but still, I always recommend having a professional do that, with either a CPA or an accountant.
Yeah, because you never know what you might be missing. You might think it's simple, and then they see something, and they're like, hold on, we still need another piece of paper.
Oh my God, that accountant or that CPA, they could ask one question, and it just changed your whole tax return.
Right.
And it may be something you've never even thought about, and it may cost you a lot of money if you're not doing it correctly. And the IRS will catch up with you if it's wrong. If you send in a return that's not correct, you're gonna get a number 10 envelope in the mail from the IRS, Department of Treasury, the Department of Revenue for South Carolina, and they're gonna tell you what's wrong, or at least what they think is wrong. Now, oftentimes people get those letters and it's just a mistake from the IRS. I've seen that a lot. But you've got to be prepared. So this time of the year, all that information's rolling in the mail. It's something you got to gather and be prepared so that you can hand your accountant or your CPA an organized group of papers, or be able to email a file of some sort and make that easy for the tax preparer.
Right. And do it early enough so that if you do need to gather more information, you still have time.
Absolutely. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are like, tax season, that's not till October. And we've all been there before at some point or another, but it is something that tax season can be, if you own a business, it's year round, it seems.
Right.
But for a lot of people who have a W-2 and have a simple tax structure, this is the time of year where they're getting all those documents in the mail about their health insurance and mortgage statements, loans, and things like that. So it's really about just being prepared. An easy way to do it is just look at last year's tax return and see the documents, the 1099s and statements like that you got, and go through and check them off. Did I get this from my mortgage company? Did I get this from my bank?
Right.
And find out what you're missing. Because the last thing you want to do is file a return, then have to go back and pay to file an amended return.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. But what it brings up questions with a lot of people is, all right, well, why did I get this tax document, or why did I get this tax document? So when you're going through and getting everything ready, it's a good time to be like, what am I paying in taxes?
Right.
Because a lot of your investment accounts and things like that I handle as an advisor, some things send a 1099, some things don't. Retirement accounts aren't going to send you a 1099 unless you took a distribution.
Right.
And understanding what those tax documents were. And what throws a lot of people off on tax documents are the government will send you a 1099 for moving an account just to keep track of it. You can get a 1099 if you moved an IRA from one company to another. And people always panic. They'll call me, well, Ben, why did I get a 1099? Do I owe taxes on this? No, it's a non-taxable event. It's just for information purposes only, but people don't read the fine print often, and that's normal. And they panic. So understanding the tax documents that you get in the mail and being prepared with what you've got. You send that 1099 that a company sent you for moving an IRA to your account, and they're like, great. And they're just going to slide it over to the side. There's not much they can do with it. It's just for information. But say you've got an IRA with $200,000 or $300,000 in it, and you move it to a different IRA, and you get a 1099, and it looks like at first glance that you have a $200,000 or $300,000 taxable event.
Right.
And that'll put a lot of people in a panic mode.
Yeah.
So again, it's preparation. But when you're going through these documents, it's a good time to review things. Are my accounts in the right place? Am I paying the right amount in taxes or not? There's different types of taxes, capital gains, there's income taxes, property taxes. All that comes into play around this time of the year. So it's a good time to, while you're getting prepared to review those things, and if you have questions, pick up the phone and call an advisor, call me and talk about, what is this document? Why am I getting it? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this indifferent?
Right. Or how can I do it better next year?
That's a big one. Absolutely. I would like to pay as little in income taxes as possible. And I think that's kind of the American way of doing things. I don't want to voluntarily pay more than I have to. So if I get something and I see a way to pay less legally, I'm going to do that. And we're all trying to do that. We're all trying to pay as little in income taxes and property taxes and capital gains and all of the taxes that are out there so that we're not overtaxed.
Right. And so that's just another notch, I guess I'll put that you could help somebody with. Help me to do this better.
Well, one of the things we've talked about is working with a team of advisors. Of having the attorney, having the accountant, and I'm part of that team. And a lot of times as a financial advisor, we're kind of the front line of that team, and we may see something like, hey, run this by your accountant, call your CPA, call that person and ask them this. We may be able to give you the language to use to help improve your tax situation. We're always going to run that by the accountant. The accountant is a critical part of that team. We're not doing the income tax returns. We want them to be prepared by an accounting team. But oftentimes it's, what if we had done this for next year? What if we funded that retirement plan more? Or what if we did a 529 plan for a college education savings type plan? What if we did this? What if we did that? Those are a lot of things that we can come up with to plan ahead so that next year's tax burden is a little better. I'd rather put money in a retirement account than pay the government.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks so much for being with me again today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
This episode was brought to you in part by Ben Heritage, financial, investment, retirement, money management, and planning. And by Angela Barrett at HomeMattersSC.com, building on what matters to you.